Have you ever gone a few days without a proper bowel movement and thought, well, that's just what happens when you get older? Or maybe you've been feeling bloated, sluggish, or even lightheaded after meals, but couldn't quite figure out why. What if the problem wasn't your age, but something missing from your plate? Many seniors unknowingly eat far too little of one powerful nutrient that supports digestion, heart health, blood sugar, and even mental clarity. That nutrient is fiber. Most people associate fiber with keeping you regular, but the truth is, it does so much more, especially as you get older. After 60, your digestive system slows down, your metabolism changes, and your risk for conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and high cholesterol increases. Without enough fiber in your daily diet, these risks quietly build over time. You may not notice it at first, just a little more bloating here, a little more fatigue there, but eventually your body starts to struggle in ways that feel harder to reverse. In today's video, we're going to explore exactly what happens when older adults don't get enough fiber. We'll break down 8 health problems that are more common than you think, from chronic constipation and high blood sugar to poor gut health and even cognitive decline. But more importantly, we'll also talk about easy, real-life ways to add more fiber into your diet with foods you probably already have in your kitchen. So if you've been feeling off, dealing with digestive issues, or just want to protect your heart, brain, and energy as you age, this video is for you. Fiber isn't just a boring nutrition topic. It could be the missing link to you feeling better, lighter, and more vibrant again. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. Chronic constipation. The first red flag. For many older adults, constipation feels like just another annoying part of aging. Something to sigh about, take a laxative for, and move on. But in reality, it's one of the first red flags your body sends when it's not getting enough fiber. Constipation doesn't just mean infrequent bowel movements. It's also about straining, feeling like you didn't fully empty, and that constant bloated, sluggish sensation that seems to weigh you down. And the most common reason this happens after age 60? A lack of dietary fiber. Take Mr. Harold, for example. He's 74, healthy overall, and enjoys toast and coffee for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and soup or rice for dinner. But he rarely eats fresh vegetables or whole grains, and fruits are an occasional snack. Over time, he noticed it became harder to go. He blamed it on medications and age. But after a dietitian reviewed his meals, it was clear he was getting less than half the fiber his body needed. Once he made small changes like adding oatmeal, berries, and steamed broccoli, things improved within a week. Fiber is the natural broom of your digestive system. It adds bulk to your stool and helps it pass more smoothly through the intestines. Without enough fiber, your gut slows down. The stool becomes harder, drier, and more difficult to pass, leading to discomfort, bloating, and even hemorrhoids. As your body ages, the muscles in the digestive tract also weaken, making fiber even more essential to keep things moving regularly and comfortably. Constipation isn't just uncomfortable, it can also have a ripple effect on your energy, appetite, and mood. When you're backed up, you may feel full sooner, eat less, and miss out on key nutrients. You might become more sedentary because your stomach feels off, which only worsens the cycle. Some people even develop anxiety about leaving the house or eating out because they worry about digestive issues. Many seniors also rely heavily on over-the-counter laxatives, which can be helpful short-term but don't fix the root cause. Over time, regular use can actually make your gut less responsive, making it harder for your body to function on its own. What your gut needs is not just relief, it needs fuel. And that fuel is fiber, ideally from natural sources like fruits, vegetables, legumes, oats, and whole grains. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Start slow. Add a half cup of berries to your breakfast. Swap white bread for whole grain, or include a handful of cooked beans in your soup. And most importantly, drink enough water. Fiber works best when paired with fluids. Otherwise, it can have the opposite effect. With time, your digestive system will begin to respond. You'll feel lighter, more comfortable, and more in control, all by feeding your gut what it's been asking for. If constipation has become a regular part of your life, it's time to pause and ask, is my body trying to tell me something? In most cases, it's not about medicine or age. It's about missing nutrition, and that means you have the power to make a change, one small bite at a time. In the next section, we'll explore how low fiber intake doesn't just slow your digestion, it can also spike your blood sugar, even if you're eating normal meals. Let's continue with number 2. Higher blood sugar spikes, hidden danger for diabetics. Number 2. Higher blood sugar spikes, hidden danger for diabetics. It's easy to think that fiber is only important for digestion, but for people over 60, especially those with diabetes or prediabetes, fiber plays a critical role in controlling blood sugar. What many seniors don't realize is that a diet low in fiber can cause your blood sugar to rise too quickly after meals, leading to energy crashes, foggy thinking, and long-term complications. Even if you're taking medication for diabetes, not getting enough fiber could be silently working against you. Let's look at the story of Mrs. Janet, age 72, who was recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. She did her best to cut back on sweets and refined carbs, but she was still experiencing sudden spikes in her blood sugar. She felt sleepy after meals, sometimes dizzy, and often had to lie down in the afternoon. After meeting with a nutritionist, she learned that while she had removed the sugar, she hadn't replaced it with fiber, and that made all the difference. By simply adding more fiber-rich foods like apples with the skin, chia seeds in her breakfast, and lentils to her lunch, she saw her blood sugar readings become more stable, and she felt more awake and steady throughout the day. Fiber slows the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. When you eat foods that are high in carbohydrates but low in fiber, such as white bread, pasta, or sugary snacks, your blood sugar can spike rapidly. This sudden surge triggers your body to release more insulin. And for many older adults, that balance gets harder to manage with age. Over time, this pattern contributes to insulin resistance, weight gain, and worsening diabetic symptoms. But when you include enough fiber, especially soluble fiber, it helps slow digestion and stabilize blood glucose levels. This is particularly important because high blood sugar spikes aren't just about numbers on a monitor. They affect how you feel day to day. Seniors with uncontrolled sugar swings often describe feeling irritable, tired, or even anxious without knowing why. These symptoms can be mistaken for other conditions, when in reality, they're directly tied to how your body is processing your meals. Another overlooked problem is that many diabetic-friendly packaged foods claim to be low in sugar, but lack any real fiber. They may not spike your sugar immediately, but without fiber, they don't nourish your system or support long-term balance. That's why real whole foods like oats, beans, berries, leafy greens, and whole grains are so important. They don't just provide fiber, they offer vitamins and minerals that support your heart, brain, and metabolism too. Adding fiber doesn't mean making drastic changes. You can start small, like swapping white rice for brown, eating an orange instead of drinking juice, or sprinkling ground flaxseed into your oatmeal. These tiny shifts can have a powerful effect over time. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about giving your body the support it needs to work better with every bite. If you've been struggling to keep your blood sugar steady, or if you feel drained after eating, ask yourself, am I getting enough fiber to help my body do its job? The answer could be the key to smoother days, fewer blood sugar crashes, and more control over your health. In the next section, we'll explore how a low-fiber diet doesn't just affect blood sugar, it also has a powerful impact on your heart health. Let's move on to number 3, elevated cholesterol, risking the heart. Number 3, elevated cholesterol, risking the heart. Most people over 60 know the word cholesterol, and many take pills every day to control it. But what you may not know is that the food on your plate, especially how much fiber it contains, can directly influence your cholesterol levels, even more than you might expect. One of the most powerful benefits of fiber, particularly soluble fiber, is its ability to help lower LDL cholesterol, also known as the bad cholesterol. When you don't get enough fiber in your daily diet, your body loses one of its best tools to protect your heart. Take the case of Mr. Glenn, 76, who had been on cholesterol medication for years. He didn't eat much fried food and thought he was doing okay. But during a routine checkup, his cholesterol numbers were still higher than they should have been. When his doctor asked about his diet, Glenn admitted he rarely ate vegetables or whole grains, mostly white bread, meat, and a few canned fruits. Once he learned that fiber could actually help trap excess cholesterol in the digestive system and remove it before it enters the bloodstream, he made a few simple changes. Oatmeal at breakfast, lentils with dinner, and apples instead of crackers. 3 months later, his LDL had dropped noticeably, and his doctor didn't have to increase his medication. Fiber works by binding to cholesterol particles in the digestive tract and carrying them out of the body through waste. Without this natural process, more cholesterol circulates through your blood, eventually sticking to the walls of your arteries. Over time, this buildup can harden and narrow the arteries, a condition called atherosclerosis, which increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. What's especially important for seniors to understand is that your body's ability to regulate cholesterol becomes less efficient with age, so getting that extra help from food becomes even more important. The American Heart Association recommends that adults aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day, but most seniors barely get half of that. And yet the foods that offer the most fiber, beans, oats, fruits with skin, vegetables like broccoli and carrots and nuts, are affordable, accessible, and easy to add to everyday meals. You don't need to go vegan or eat a bowl of bran every morning. Even one bowl of oatmeal can make a difference. A half cup of black beans, a pear with the skin, or a handful of almonds can quietly support your heart health without any extra effort. Some people assume medication is enough to manage cholesterol, but lifestyle habits, especially fiber intake, often make the difference between needing more pills or fewer. It's about giving your body the natural tools it was designed to use. And unlike medicine, fiber has no side effects, only side benefits. Mr. Glenn now jokes that his bowl of oats is his second prescription. He still takes his cholesterol medication, but he feels better knowing that he's doing something active, something simple that helps protect his heart every day. And that kind of mindset, adding instead of only avoiding, is often the key to sustainable, joyful change. If you're managing high cholesterol or just want to give your heart the support it needs as you age, ask yourself, is fiber part of my daily protection plan? If not, it's never too late to begin. Even small improvements can lead to a stronger, healthier heart. Next, we'll talk about how a lack of fiber doesn't just affect the inside of your body, it can change how your body holds weight, especially around the belly. Let's move on to number 4, weight gain and belly fat. Fiber keeps you full. Number 4, weight gain and belly fat. Fiber keeps you full. As we get older, many of us notice that it becomes easier to gain weight, especially around the belly, and harder to take it off. Even if you're eating less than before, your body just doesn't seem to respond the same way. One major reason this happens is a gradual slowdown in metabolism, but there's another piece of the puzzle that often goes unnoticed: a lack of dietary fiber. Fiber doesn't just help with digestion or blood sugar, it also plays a huge role in helping you feel full, satisfied, and in control of your appetite. Without it, you're more likely to overeat, snack frequently, and gain weight, especially the kind of belly fat that raises your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and inflammation. Let's take the example of Ms. Linda, 70, who always considered herself a light eater. She skipped breakfast most days, had crackers or toast for lunch, and maybe a little chicken and rice at dinner. But she noticed that even though she wasn't eating huge meals, Her waistline was slowly expanding. She didn't feel full after eating and found herself grazing throughout the day. When her daughter encouraged her to track her meals, they discovered she was eating plenty of simple carbs, but almost no fiber. Once she added a morning bowl of oatmeal with blueberries and nuts, switched her white bread to whole grain, and tossed some roasted vegetables into dinner, things started to change. She felt fuller longer, stopped craving snacks between meals, and slowly but steadily lost the belly fat that had been bothering her for years. Fiber works like a natural appetite regulator. When you eat high-fiber foods, they take longer to chew, they expand in your stomach, and they slow down the emptying process, all of which help you feel full for longer. This means you're less likely to overeat or feel hungry shortly after eating. On the other hand, meals that are low in fiber but high in sugar or refined carbs pass through your system quickly, spike your blood sugar, and leave you hungry again in no time. This cycle of constant hunger and blood sugar ups and downs is one of the hidden drivers of weight gain in older adults, even in those who don't eat that much. And when weight gain happens mostly around the belly, it becomes more than a cosmetic concern. Visceral fat, the kind of fat stored deep in the abdomen, is strongly linked to insulin resistance, high blood pressure, and even cognitive decline. Reducing this type of fat through gentle changes in diet and movement can significantly improve your long-term health. And fiber is one of the safest and most effective ways to support that process without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. One of the best things about fiber is that it comes from real, whole foods, not pills or powders. Eating an apple with the skin, a handful of almonds, a serving of lentils, or some roasted Brussels sprouts isn't just nutritious, it's also delicious. When meals are satisfying and full of texture, flavor, and fiber, you naturally eat in a way that supports your weight without having to count calories or follow strict rules. If you've been gaining weight slowly, especially around your waist, or if you feel hungry not long after eating, ask yourself, how much fiber is actually on my plate? The answer might not just help your digestion, it might be the key to feeling lighter, clearer, and more in control of your body again. In the next section, we'll explore how fiber isn't just about weight or fullness. It also plays a vital role in the health of your gut and the invisible community of bacteria living inside it. Let's move on to number 5. Poor gut health, feeding the wrong bacteria. Number 5. Poor gut health, feeding the wrong bacteria. Most people don't give much thought to the tiny organisms living in their gut, but the truth is, your digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria, both good and bad, and they have a huge impact on how you feel every single day. This inner world, called the gut microbiome, helps regulate digestion, supports your immune system, and even influences your mood and brain function. But here's something many seniors don't realize. When you don't eat enough fiber, you're not just missing out on better digestion. You're starving the good bacteria your body depends on while allowing the harmful ones to thrive. Let's talk about Mr. Dennis, 75, who had struggled with on and off bloating, gas, and unpredictable bowel habits for years. He had tried cutting out dairy, then gluten, and even skipped entire meals hoping it would help. But nothing seemed to bring lasting relief. It wasn't until his doctor suggested focusing on gut health, specifically increasing the amount of fiber in his diet, that things began to turn around. Within just a few weeks of adding foods like lentils, carrots, bananas, and barley, his digestion improved, his bloating went down, and his bathroom schedule finally became regular. The reason is simple. Fiber acts as food for your beneficial gut bacteria. It's what helps them grow, multiply, and crowd out the harmful microbes that can cause inflammation, discomfort, and even infection. When you eat a diet low in fiber, full of processed foods, white bread, and sugar, those good bacteria begin to shrink in number. The bad ones, which feed on sugar and fat, take over, leading to more gas, irritation, and intestinal imbalance. Over time, this imbalance, called dysbiosis, can contribute to conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, leaky gut, and weakened immunity. You might be wondering why this matters so much after age 60. As we get older, the diversity and strength of our gut bacteria naturally decline, making us more vulnerable to digestive issues, constipation, and even infections like C. diff. A fiber-rich diet helps maintain the microbial balance that keeps your system strong, your digestion smooth, and your inflammation levels low. It's not just about avoiding discomfort. It's about building a strong internal defense system that helps you age with resilience. The effects of poor gut health go far beyond digestion. Many seniors report that when their gut is off, their energy drops, their thinking feels cloudy, and even their sleep suffers. That's because the gut communicates directly with the brain through the gut-brain axis, a powerful two-way system that influences your mood, memory, and overall clarity. A healthy gut supported by fiber doesn't just help you go, it helps you feel grounded and focused. Fiber works like a natural appetite regulator. When you eat high-fiber foods, they take longer to chew, they expand in your stomach, and they slow down the emptying process, all of which help you feel full for longer. This means you're less likely to overeat or feel hungry shortly after eating. On the other hand, meals that are low in fiber but high in sugar or refined carbs pass through your system quickly, spike your blood sugar, and leave you hungry again in no time. This cycle of constant hunger and blood sugar ups and downs is one of the hidden drivers of weight gain in older adults, even in those who don't eat that much. And when weight gain happens mostly around the belly, it becomes more than a cosmetic concern. Visceral fat, the kind of fat stored deep in the abdomen, is strongly linked to insulin resistance, high blood pressure, and even cognitive decline. Reducing this type of fat through gentle changes in diet and movement can significantly improve your long-term health. And fiber is one of the safest and most effective ways to support that process without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. One of the best things about fiber is that it comes from real, whole foods, not pills or powders. Eating an apple with the skin, a handful of almonds, a serving of lentils, or some roasted Brussels sprouts isn't just nutritious. It's also delicious. When meals are satisfying and full of texture, flavor, and fiber, you naturally eat in a way that supports your weight without having to count calories or follow strict rules. If you've been gaining weight slowly, especially around your waist, or if you feel hungry not long after eating, ask yourself, how much fiber is actually on my plate? The answer might not just help your digestion. It might be the key to feeling lighter, clearer, and more in control of your body again. In the next section, we'll explore how fiber isn't just about weight or fullness. It also plays a vital role in the health of your gut and the invisible community of bacteria living inside it. Let's move on to number 5. Poor gut health, feeding the wrong bacteria. Number 5, poor gut health, feeding the wrong bacteria. Most people don't give much thought to the tiny organisms living in their gut. But the truth is, your digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria, both good and bad, and they have a huge impact on how you feel every single day. This inner world, called the gut microbiome, helps regulate digestion, supports your immune system, and even influences your mood and brain function. But here's something many seniors don't realize. When you don't eat enough fiber, you're not just missing out on better digestion, you're starving the good bacteria your body depends on while allowing the harmful ones to thrive. Let's talk about Mr. Dennis, 75, who had struggled with on and off bloating, gas, and unpredictable bowel habits for years. He had tried cutting out dairy, then gluten, and even skipped entire meals hoping it would help. But nothing seemed to bring lasting relief. It wasn't until his doctor suggested focusing on gut health, specifically increasing the amount of fiber in his diet, that things began to turn around. Within just a few weeks of adding foods like lentils, carrots, bananas, and barley, his digestion improved, his bloating went down, and his bathroom schedule finally became regular. The reason is simple. Fiber acts as food for your beneficial gut bacteria. It's what helps them grow, multiply, and crowd out the harmful microbes that can cause inflammation, discomfort, and even infection. When you eat a diet low in fiber, full of processed foods, white bread, and sugar, those good bacteria begin to shrink in number. The bad ones, which feed on sugar and fat, take over, leading to more gas, irritation, and intestinal imbalance. Over time, this imbalance, called dysbiosis, can contribute to conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, leaky gut, and weakened immunity. You might be wondering why this matters so much after age 60. As we get older, the diversity and strength of our gut bacteria naturally decline, making us more vulnerable to digestive issues, constipation, and even infections like C. diff. A fiber-rich diet helps maintain the microbial balance that keeps your system strong, your digestion smooth, and your inflammation levels low. It's not just about avoiding discomfort. It's about building a strong internal defense system that helps you age with resilience. The effects of poor gut health go far beyond digestion. Many seniors report that when their gut is off, their energy drops, their thinking feels cloudy, and even their sleep suffers. That's because the gut communicates directly with the brain through the gut-brain axis, a powerful two-way system that influences your mood, memory, and overall clarity. A healthy gut, supported by fiber, doesn't just help you go, it helps you feel grounded and focused. Thankfully, improving your gut health doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. Just adding a variety of natural fiber sources, like leafy greens, beans, oats, berries, or flaxseed, can create a nourishing environment for your friendly gut bacteria. Even something as simple as eating a small salad every day, or switching from white rice to brown rice, can begin to shift your inner balance in the right direction. If your digestion has felt off lately, or if you've been battling gas, bloating, or irregular bathroom habits, it's worth asking, am I feeding the good bacteria or the bad ones? The answer could be the key not only to a healthier gut, but to a stronger immune system, a calmer mind, and a more comfortable life. In the next section, we'll take this even further, because what happens in the gut doesn't stay in the gut. Next, we'll look at how low fiber intake can quietly weaken your immune defenses, especially after age 60. Let's continue with number 6, weak immune response. It starts in the gut. Number 6, weak immune response. It starts in the gut. When most people think about boosting their immune system, they picture things like vitamin C, zinc, or staying warm in the winter. But very few realize that one of the most important parts of the immune system doesn't come from a pill or a supplement. It begins in the gut. In fact, nearly 70% of your immune cells live in your digestive tract, and the strength of your gut health has a direct influence on how well your body can fight off viruses, bacteria, and chronic inflammation. For seniors, especially those over 60, keeping the immune system strong becomes more important with every passing year. And one of the simplest and most overlooked ways to do that is by eating enough fiber. Fiber plays a quiet but powerful role in helping your immune system do its job. It supports the growth of healthy bacteria in your gut, which in turn produce substances called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds help control inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, and act as messengers to the immune system, telling it when to ramp up and when to calm down. Without fiber, this communication system weakens. The gut lining becomes more permeable, sometimes referred to as leaky gut, and harmful bacteria and toxins can enter the bloodstream, leading to chronic low-level inflammation. This kind of inflammation has been linked to heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Let's look at Mrs. Helen, age 73, who used to catch colds every other month. She blamed it on getting older and thought her immune system was just slowing down. But her daughter, a nurse, noticed that Helen's diet was extremely low in vegetables and fiber. With just a few changes, switching to whole grain toast, adding steamed vegetables to dinner, and eating an apple with the skin every afternoon, Helen noticed not only better digestion, but also fewer infections, better energy, and quicker recovery when she did get sick. As we age, the immune system naturally becomes less efficient, a process known as immunosenescence. That's why vaccines may be less effective and why infections hit harder and take longer to heal. But you're not powerless. By improving gut health with fiber, You're essentially training your immune army to stay alert and ready. You're giving it the resources it needs to work smarter and more efficiently. Unlike short-term immune boosters, fiber works every single day, quietly supporting your internal defenses from the inside out. You might not feel the effects of low fiber immediately, but over time, the immune system's ability to detect and destroy harmful invaders weakens. You may notice more frequent infections, slower wound healing, or even allergies and food sensitivities that never used to bother you. These subtle shifts are often ignored or blamed on aging, but they may actually be your gut's way of asking for more support, and fiber is one of the best ways to provide it. The beauty of fiber is that it doesn't require anything fancy or expensive. A simple bowl of lentil soup, a handful of raspberries, or a serving of steamed greens can quietly nourish your gut, strengthen your immune response, and help protect you from illness. It's a daily dose of protection that comes straight from your kitchen. No pharmacy needed. If you felt more run down lately, gotten sick more often, or noticed slower recovery, take a closer look at your diet and ask yourself, is my immune system getting what it needs? In many cases, the answer starts in the gut, and the gut starts with fiber. Next, we'll shift gears and explore how this missing nutrient may even affect your clarity of mind and energy levels. Let's move on to number 7, low energy and brain fog. Fiber supports mental clarity. Number 7, low energy and brain fog. Fiber supports mental clarity. Have you ever had one of those days where you just can't think clearly? You're not exactly sick, but everything feels a little slow. Your focus drifts, you're more forgetful than usual, and even small tasks seem harder. Many seniors describe this feeling as brain fog, and while it can come from a variety of causes like stress or poor sleep, few realize that it might be connected to something as simple as how much fiber is or isn't in your daily meals. Yes, fiber, the same nutrient that helps with digestion, also plays a surprising role in how sharp, focused, and energized your brain feels throughout the day. Let's take Mr. Robert, 69 years old, retired and active, but lately struggling with midday crashes. He'd wake up fine, but by early afternoon felt mentally drained and physically tired. His doctor checked for anemia and thyroid issues. All normal. It wasn't until a dietitian reviewed his meals and saw his fiber intake was very low that the picture became clearer. His breakfasts were high in refined carbs like pancakes or toast. His lunches included few vegetables, and dinner was mostly meat and potatoes. After making small changes, like adding chia seeds to his breakfast, eating lentil soup for lunch, and including a fiber-rich veggie with dinner, Robert began to feel more stable, more alert, and better able to concentrate all day. One of the key reasons fiber helps with mental clarity is its ability to stabilize blood sugar. When you eat refined foods with little or no fiber, your blood sugar rises quickly, then crashes, and that crash doesn't just affect your body, it affects your brain. You might feel sleepy, distracted, irritable, or unfocused. These ups and downs make it harder to maintain steady energy and mental performance. Fiber slows down digestion, releases energy more gradually, and helps keep your blood sugar on a more even path, which means fewer energy dips and a clearer head. But that's not all. Fiber also supports the health of your gut microbiome, and more research is showing a powerful connection between gut health and brain health. This connection is often called the gut-brain axis, and it means that when your gut is thriving, your brain tends to feel better too. A well-fed gut helps produce mood-supporting chemicals like serotonin, reduces inflammation, and even helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle, all of which are essential for mental clarity and emotional well-being. Without enough fiber, the balance of gut bacteria can shift, and this can quietly affect your mood, memory, and focus without you even realizing it. Many seniors are surprised when, after adding more fiber to their diet, they don't just feel lighter physically, they feel sharper mentally. They can follow conversations more easily, remember names more clearly, and feel less foggy in the mornings. It's not magic. It's simply giving your brain the support it needs by starting with the food on your plate. If you've been feeling mentally off lately, not quite yourself, more forgetful or easily tired, Take a moment to consider what you've been eating. Is your day filled with fiber-rich foods that support the steady energy and brain health? Or is your plate mostly soft, refined, low-fiber choices that leave your system crashing? In the next section, we'll explore one of the most serious long-term risks of a low-fiber diet, something that affects millions but can be prevented: colon disease. Let's continue with number 8, increased risk of colon disease. Don't ignore the long term. Number 8, increased risk of colon disease. Don't ignore the long term. When it comes to health after age 60, many people worry about heart disease, memory loss, or weak bones. But there's another silent danger that often doesn't get enough attention: colon disease. Your colon, also known as your large intestine, plays a major role in how your body processes waste and absorbs nutrients. And one of the most powerful protectors of colon health is something many people don't get nearly enough of: fiber. Over the years, not eating enough fiber can slowly increase your risk for several digestive problems, including diverticulosis, painful inflammation, and even colon cancer. Let's look at the story of Mr. Edward, 74, who had always had a sensitive stomach, but managed well until one weekend he experienced sudden, sharp pain in his lower abdomen. At the hospital, he was diagnosed with diverticulitis, a painful condition where small pockets in the colon become inflamed or infected. It turned out that his years of eating a low-fiber diet had contributed to the development of those pockets in the first place. His doctors explained that had he eaten more fiber-rich foods earlier in life, the risk of this condition could have been significantly reduced. Now Edward is recovering and has become a big believer in daily fiber, from beans, fruits, and vegetables to whole grains, because he wants to avoid another attack. Low-fiber diets are strongly linked to the formation of diverticula, small bulges or pockets in the colon wall. These pockets can remain harmless, but in many people, they become inflamed, leading to diverticulitis, which causes pain, fever, and may even require surgery. What's more, a diet low in fiber leads to slower bowel movements, meaning waste sits longer in the intestines. This can increase the exposure of the colon lining to harmful substances and irritants, raising the risk for colorectal cancer, one of the most common cancers in older adults, but also one of the most preventable. Fiber helps by speeding up the movement of waste through the digestive tract, keeping things clean and reducing contact between toxins and the colon walls. It also helps create softer, bulkier stools, making it easier and more comfortable to pass waste without straining. This is especially important because chronic constipation and frequent straining are known to stress the colon over time. Sadly, many seniors only begin to think about colon health after they've had a scare, blood in the stool, severe abdominal pain, or a diagnosis they never expected. But the truth is, long before those warning signs appear, your body's already asking for more support. Choosing fiber-rich foods is one of the most natural and effective ways to protect your colon, reduce inflammation, and avoid problems that can seriously affect your comfort, safety, and quality of life. The best part? It doesn't take huge changes. Adding just a few more servings of vegetables, switching to whole grain bread or brown rice, or enjoying a bowl of berries each day can make a real difference. Every bite of fiber you eat helps keep your colon strong and healthy. If you haven't thought much about your colon health, now is the time. Ask yourself, is my digestive system working as smoothly as it could be? Am I doing what I can today to prevent problems tomorrow? A little more fiber each day could be your best defense against one of the most overlooked but dangerous conditions facing older adults. In the final part of this video, we'll pull everything together and talk about how small daily changes can lead to long-term benefits, not just for digestion, but for your whole body. Let's move on to the conclusion. So, as we've seen today, fiber is so much more than just something for digestion. It's a quiet but powerful force that touches nearly every part of your health. From keeping your bowels regular and your blood sugar stable, to protecting your heart, boosting your immune system, supporting mental clarity, and even helping you avoid serious colon diseases. And yet, it's one of the most overlooked nutrients in the diets of older adults. The good news is that it's never too late to make a change. You don't need to overhaul your entire way of eating overnight. Just start small. Maybe that's adding some oatmeal to your breakfast, choosing whole grain bread instead of white, tossing a handful of berries on top of your yogurt, or including more beans and vegetables in your dinner. Every little bit adds up, and your body will thank you for it, one gentle improvement at a time. You deserve to feel lighter, clearer, stronger, and more in control of your health, not weighed down by slow digestion, low energy, or chronic discomfort. And the path toward that feeling of wellness might begin with something as simple and humble as fiber. It's a gift you can give yourself daily, a way to nourish your body from the inside out. So the next time you look at your plate, ask yourself, is there something here that will help me move better, feel clearer, and protect my future? If not, now's the perfect time to make that simple, powerful change. Thank you for watching, and thank you for taking care of yourself. Your future self will be glad you did. We really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to support our work, and it helps more people discover the tips they need to live healthier, happier lives. And if you want to stay up to date, just click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. See you again soon.